and welcome back to PC Guys Off-Grid Cabin, where the work's never done, but we're doing it just for fun. Oil leaks. An oil leak on a vehicle can be a royal pain in the rear to locate. And what happens is it starts leaking, oil will start running down, the wind will catch it, and it blows it everywhere. The next thing you know, you can't tell where that oil leak's coming from. But fortunately, we have a workaround. This right here, it's called Certified Auto Pro, I'm getting tongue-tied, excuse me, fluorescent leak dye detector. And I will put a link in the description there. You can find this pretty much at any auto parts store. And I have my handy-dandy flashlight to go with it. Now, this is not an ordinary flashlight. It's a UV light. Now what this does is when you hit this dye with a UV light, it'll light up like a Christmas tree, a kind of a yellowish green color. So it's easy to use. And to quote somebody that I was talking to a while back about this, the dye doesn't lie. Let's try it out and see how good it works. I've actually already tried this once before. I had a vehicle pickup almost identical to that one that, if you'll bring the camera over here, I had a vehicle similar to that pickup over there that had a leak on it, and it was leaking bad. I mean, it was pouring oil out of it, and I thought the rear main seal had failed in it. I pulled the oil pan, put a new rear main seal in it, put it back together, filled it back up with oil, cranked it up. It still was pouring oil out of it just as fast as it was, and then somebody recommended this. Wasn't the rear main seal. It was a leaking oil pressure sender that was located at the back of the motor. And what was happening was the oil was running down, and it made it look like it was a rear main seal leaking. That thing was literally pouring a quart of oil a day out of it. It was leaking so bad. This one's not leaking that bad. But we still need to locate this oil leak. Gotta have something to punch a hole in that handy dandy seal. So all you do is just pour it in the engine where you put the oil out. Now I'm gonna, if you'll bring the camera around here, I'm gonna show you something. You shine it right there. Do you see how that lights up? It's right there where all that dye hit.
It's hard to see.
Bring the camera straight up above. See what happens when I hit that with that UV light? How it lights up and it's almost a yellow color. That's what that dye does. Now, I actually spilt a little bit of it down here on the engine. If you look there, you see how bright that is right there where I spilled that? I guess I spilled that right there. I don't recall her spilling any of it. No, I did not. Look. I didn't even get that stuff in there. See that right there? That oil, that valve cover right there is leaking oil. See how it does right there? So that tells you exactly. I didn't even crank the engine up, and it's already lighting up. That thing's leaking like a sift. There's no way that, I didn't spill any of that oil. See there, that takes and tells you right there, the dye doesn't lie. But let's crank this engine up, and I'm gonna get under here, and we'll see if we can find any more leaks underneath the vehicle. I don't know if they're there or not. So, if Mrs. PC Guy will hand me the camera, I will get under here. We'll see if we can't find if there's any more leaks. If you will excuse my shaking of the camera. Now see, if you look down here, I'm not seeing anything lit up under here. But you can tell there's definitely a bad amount of leakage here. Okay? But if you shine that light up there, and I'm hitting that with a UV light, and there's absolutely nothing lighting up down here. Now I bet if we go and look at the back, well, valve cover gaskets and valve cover, I bet you 2 to 1 we're going to see something lit up back there too. Let's go take a look. Again, excuse the camera shaking and everything. When you take and I may not be able to see that. It may be extremely difficult to take a look back there and see that back valve cover because it's on the back side of this engine. And if it's leaking, it is going to be a booger to take and get to. Now I don't see anything, but I'll have to climb in from the other side and get up there behind the engine. Go ahead and shut the motor off if you would. But man, that front valve cover right there was leaking bad. I mean, you could sit there and definitely see right there where it was all lit up yellow there where it ran down. This particular one's going to be a fairly easy fix. So, you don't have to necessarily take and use it just on cars. You can use it in a tractor. You can use it in an 18-wheeler. You can use it on pretty much anything that's got motor oil or automatic transmission. If you got an automatic transmission leak, it'll do the same thing for you on that also. You just pour it in there in the, where you put your automatic transmission fluid, and you can do the exact same thing with a UV light. So, if you got an oil leak, give this a try. This will save you a lot of headaches and a lot of worries. We appreciate you watching. Until next time, if you will remember to hit that thumbs up and smash that notification bell. Thanks again, and until next time.